Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Saira Mujtaba and with me is Sarabjit Kaur with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says focus of new education policy is on research and innovation. Addresses convocation of Vishwa Bharati University. Several power and urban sector projects to be launched by Prime Minister in Kerala this afternoon. For the first time, China admits deaths of their soldiers in Galwan Valley clashes. 3 militants killed in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 97.3%. Over 1 crore doses of vaccine administered in a month. Prime Minister says circular economy can play a major role in enhancing the ease of living. Addresses valedictory function of India-Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. Go Electric campaign launched to give a boost to electric mobility and use of electrical appliances across the country. Intensified Mission Indradhanush 3.0 to expand immunization coverage across the country begins on Monday. Students, parents and teachers can register to participate in Pariksha Pe Charcha till 14th March. Indian Army rescues 447 stranded tourists at Nasula in East Sikkim. And in Australian Open tennis, Elise Mertens and Arina Sabalenka win mixed doubles title. Defending champions Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury enters final of men's doubles. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the new education policy is a major step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and it gives strength to research and innovation. PM Modi was addressing the convocation ceremony of Vishwa Bharati University through video conferencing.
गुरुदेव ने विश्व भारती में जो व्यवस्थाएं विकसित की, जो पद्धतियां विकसित की, वो भारत की शिक्षा व्यवस्था को परतंत्रता की बेड़ियों से मुक्त करने, भारत को आधुनिक बनाने का एक माध्यम थी। अब आज भारत में जो नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति बनी है, वो भी पुरानी बेड़ियों को तोड़ने के साथ ही विद्यार्थियों को अपना सामर्थ्य दिखाने की पूरी आजादी देती। ये शिक्षा नीति आपको अलग अलग विषयों को पढ़ने की आजादी देती है। ये शिक्षा नीति आपको अपनी भाषा में पढ़ने का विकल्प देती है। ये शिक्षा नीति एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट को भी बढ़ावा देती है। ये शिक्षा नीति रिसर्च को, इनोवेशन को बल देती है, बढ़ावा देती है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत के निर्माण में ये शिक्षा नीति भी एक अहम पड़ाव है।
Mr. Modi said many people who are spreading terror and violence across the world are also highly educated, highly skilled. On the other hand, there are educated people who are risking their lives and stationed at hospitals and labs to save the people from a pandemic like COVID-19. It's not about ideology, but a mindset, he asserted. The Prime Minister said what one does depends upon whether the mindset is positive or negative.
आप देखिए, जो दुनिया में आतंक फैला रहे हैं, जो दुनिया में हिंसा फैला रहे हैं, उनमें भी कई हाईली एजुकेटेड, हाईली लर्नेड, हाईली स्किल्ड लोग हैं। दूसरी तरफ ऐसे भी ये लोग हैं जो कोरोना जैसी महामारी से दुनिया को मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए दिन रात अपनी जान की बाजी लगा देते हैं, अस्पतालों में डटे रहते हैं, प्रयोगशालाओं में जुटे हुए हैं। ये सिर्फ विचारधारा का प्रश्न नहीं है, मूल बात तो माइंडसेट का है। आप क्या करते हैं, इस बात पर निर्भर करता है कि आपका माइंडसेट पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है। स्कोप दोनों के लिए है, रास्ते दोनों के लिए ओपन है। आप समस्या का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हैं या फिर समाधान का, ये तय करना हमारे अपने हाथ में होता है।
The Prime Minister said knowledge and power come with a lot of responsibility and called upon the students to strive to maintain unity in diversity. Mr. Modi said universities stand for endless knowledge and skill and knowledge is not static but ever evolving. He lauded Vishwabharati for the dedicated service it is rendering for the welfare of the poor.
गुरुदेव टैगोर मानते थे विविधताएं रहेगी, विचारधाराएं रहेगी, इन सब के साथ ही हमें खुद को भी तलाशना होगा। वो बंगाल के लिए कहते थे बांग्लार माटी बांग्लार जल, बांग्लार वायु बांग्लार फूल, पुण्य हो पुण्य हो पुण्य हो हे भगवान। लेकिन साथ ही वो भारत की विविधता की भी उतना ही गौरवगान बड़े भाव से करते थे। वो कहते थे हे मोर चित्तो पुण्यो, हे मोर चित्तो पुण्यो, तीर्थे जागोरे धीरे, ई भारतेर महामनोबेर सागरो तीरे, हेथाय दाराय दबाहु बाराय नमो नरोदे बोतारे। और ये गुरुदेव का ही विशाल विजन था कि शांति निकेतन के खुले आसमान के नीचे वो विश्व मानव को देखते थे। ऐशो कर्मी, ऐशो ज्ञानी, ऐशो जन कल्याणी, ऐशो तपस राजो है, ऐशो है द्विशक्ति, संपद मुक्ता बंधो समाज है। हे श्रमिक साथियों, हे जानकार साथियों, हे समाज सेवियों, हे संतों, समाज के सभी जागरूक साथियों, आइए समाज की मुक्ति के लिए मिलकर के प्रयास करें।
The Prime Minister said Vishwabharati is not just a university but part of a vibrant tradition. He said had Gurudev wanted to see Vishwabharati as just a university, he could have named it Global University, but he named it Vishwabharati University. Mr. Modi said, for Gurudev Tagore, Vishwabharati was not merely a place of knowledge, but it was an attempt to reach the topmost goal of preserving Indian culture. He praised the songs and poetry of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and said they are gaining global popularity for imparting knowledge to readers. Remembering Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on his birth anniversary today, the Prime Minister quoted a poem written by Tagore on Shivaji.
आज एक और बहुत ही पावन अवसर है, बहुत ही प्रेरणा का दिन है। आज छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जन्म जयंती है। मैं सभी देशवासियों को छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जयंती पर बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। गुरुदेव रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर जी ने भी शिवाजी उत्सव नाम से वीर शिवाजी पर एक कविता लिखी। उन्होंने लिखा था कौन दूर शताब्देर, कौन एक अख्यात दिवसे, नाही जानी आजी, नाही जानी आजी। मराठार कौन शोयले एरंडेर, अंधकारे बसे। ओ राजा शिवाजी, क्या ये विचार आपको एक बिजली की रोशनी की तरह आया था? क्या ये विचार आया था कि छिन्न भिन्न इस देश की धरती को एक सूत्र में पिरोना है? क्या मुझे इसके लिए खुद को समर्पित करना है? इन पंक्तियों में छत्रपति वीर शिवाजी से प्रेरणा लेते हुए भारत की एकता, भारत को एक सूत्र में पिरोने का आह्वान था। देश की एकता को मजबूत करने वाली इन भावनाओं को हमें कभी भूलना नहीं है।
The Prime Minister said it was inspiring and delightful to take part in the convocation ceremony of such a great institution. He said it would have been a lot better had he been present personally to take part in the convocation ceremony today. West Bengal Governor and Rector of the University, Jagdeep Dhankar, Union Education Minister Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank and Minister of State Education Sanjay Dhotre were also present on the occasion. A total of 2,535 students received their degrees during the ceremony. Vishwabharati was founded by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore in 1921. It is the oldest central university in the country.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of key projects of power and urban sector in Kerala today through video conferencing. More details from our Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
The major project that will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister today in Kerala is the 320 kilovolt Pugalur-Thrissur power transmission project, which will facilitate the transfer of 2000 megawatt of power from the western region that will help to meet the growing power demand in the state. The Prime Minister will also dedicate to the nation the 50 megawatt Kasaragod solar power project developed under the National Solar Energy Mission. Mr. Modi will also lay the foundation stone of the Integrated Command and Control Center at Thiruvananthapuram, which is being set up to host smart solutions for Thiruvananthapuram Municipal Corporation. Besides, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of the Smart Roads project in Thiruvananthapuram. A water treatment plant at Aruvikara will also be inaugurated by him that will boost the supply of drinking water in the capital city. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
China, for the first time, has recognized 5 of its soldiers, including 4 deaths, in the deadly Galwan Valley clash with the Indian Army, in which 20 Indian soldiers were martyred, but China did not disclose casualties on its side then. Chinese state media reported today that the Central Military Commission of China has disclosed the names of 5 Chinese frontier officers and soldiers stationed in the Karakoram Mountains who were involved in the border confrontation with India, which occurred in the Galwan Valley in June 2020. As both the countries are carrying forward disengagement of the frontline troops after 7 months long standoff, China has recognized 5 of its officers and soldiers, including 1 regimental commander from the PLA Xianyang Military Command and 4 other soldiers. More details from our Beijing correspondent.
It was a contrasting scene when India honored its martyrs, but China kept silent on number of casualties. There have been reports of more casualties on Chinese side, but China never acknowledged them, except now when it has mentioned 5 names. In May 2020, the PLA troops moved forward from their usual positions in the Indian side of the LOC, leading to a standoff lasting months. On February 10th, China announced the start of synchronized and organized disengagement by the frontline troops of both sides at the southern and northern bank of Pangong Lake. After this first phase of disengagement, senior military commanders will meet and talk about disengagement at other places. Anshuman Mishra, All India Radio, Beijing.
India and China to hold 10th round of Corps Commander level talks tomorrow on the Chinese side of the line of actual control in Moldo. The two sides are likely to discuss disengagement from other friction points after disengagement from both northern and southern banks of Pangong Tso Lake. The disengagement process of troops of the Indian Army and China's People's Liberation Army from the line of actual control was reached after sustained negotiations at the military and diplomatic level. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh last week said India's strategy and approach during disengagement talks with China are based on guidance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that India will not allow an inch of its territory to be taken by anyone.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists of Al-Badr outfit were killed in Shopian district of South Kashmir, while 2 terrorists managed to flee. IGP Kashmir Vijay Kumar said late last night a cordon was laid in Imam Sahab area of Shopian district on specific inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. The encounter started when hiding terrorists fired on the joint search party of security forces. 2 AK-47 rifles and 1 pistol were recovered from their possession. In another encounter in Birwa area of Central Kashmir's Budgam district, a special police officer SPO was martyred and another policeman was injured. In the initial firing, SPO Altaf Ahmed sustained bullet wounds who later succumbed. A policeman identified as Manzoor Ahmed also received injuries in the exchange of fire. He is being treated at the hospital. Meanwhile, the wreath-laying ceremony of martyred SPO Altaf Ahmed was held in Srinagar today amid full honours and in presence of senior police officers. Jammu and Kashmir police have cracked the case of recent attack on the owner of Krishna Dhaba at the busy Dal Gate area of Srinagar city, saying the attack was carried out to create fear among tourists on a day when foreign envoys were in Srinagar. Addressing a press conference today, Inspector General of Police IGP Kashmir Vijay Kumar said that the attack was carried out by 3 bygone newly recruited terrorists.
जो कि बेसिकली टीआरएफ बोलिए या एलईटी के हैं, मोस्टली जानबाज फौज भी बोलते हैं अपने आप को बोलते हैं, इसलिए ये एलईटी वाले हैं। और जो गाजी जो है साउथ कश्मीर का, उन्होंने इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया था क्योंकि फॉरेन डेलीगेट आ रहा है तो तुम उस जगह अटैक करो कि जहां ज्यादा न्यूज बने और जो उसके आसपास हो। कृष्णा ढाबा को चूंकि पहले भी रिकॉर्ड कर चुका था, और जैसा हम सब जानते हैं कि किसी भी स्ट्राइक के टाइम में यहाँ पर दुकान खुला रहता है, काफी टूरिस्ट वहाँ पर जाते हैं, लोकल लोग वहाँ पर जाते हैं पूरा। तो जानबूझ के एक इंटेंशनली इस टारगेट को चुना गया है। इसका एक मकसद ये भी हो सकता है कि चूंकि ये जो दुकानदार थे ये जम्मू के हैं, हिंदी कम्युनिटी से बिलोंग करते हैं, हो सकता है कि इसका जम्मू में रिएक्शन हो और इसका कुछ ये चाहते हैं डिस्टर्बेंस हो, कम्युनल हार्मोनी भी डिस्टर्ब हो।
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says focus of new education policy is on research and innovation, addresses convocation of Vishwa Bharati University. Several power and urban sector projects to be launched by Prime Minister in Kerala this afternoon. For the first time, China admits death of their soldiers in Galwan Valley clashes. India and China to hold 10th round of core commander level talks tomorrow on the Chinese side of the line of actual control in Moldo. 3 militants killed in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 97.3%. Over 1 crore doses of vaccine administered in a month. Prime Minister says circular economy can play a major role in enhancing ease of living, addresses valedictory function of India-Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. Go Electric campaign launched to give a boost to electric mobility and use of electrical appliances across the country. Intensified mission Indradhanush 3.0 to expand immunization coverage across the country begins on Monday. Students, parents and teachers can register to participate in Pariksha Pe Charcha till 14th March. Indian Army rescues 447 stranded tourists at Nathula in East Sikkim. And in Australian Open tennis, Elisa Mertens and Arina Sabalenka win mixed doubles title. Defending champions Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury enters final of men's doubles. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
Welcome back. You're listening to the Midday News. The country has touched a new milestone in its fight against the COVID pandemic by administering over 1 crore doses of the COVID vaccine in a span of just over a month. Over 6,58,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The COVID-19 recovery rate in the country has also improved to 97.3%. The Health Ministry said in the last 24 hours, 10,896 people were discharged after recovery. Till now, over 1,667,000 people have recovered from the COVID-19 infection. In the last 24 hours, 13,193 new cases were reported. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that circular economy can be a key step in addressing the ecological strain on our planet. Addressing the valedictory function of India-Australia Circular Economy Hackathon today through video conference, Mr. Modi stressed on the need to look at our consumption patterns and how we can reduce their ecological impact.
We must never forget that we are not the owners of all that Mother Earth has to offer, but merely it's a trustees for all the future generations to come. It is not enough to make our production processes more efficient and less polluting, no matter how fast or slow one drives. If the direction is wrong, then one is bound to reach the wrong destination. And so, we must set the right direction. We must look at our consumption patterns and how we can reduce their ecological impact. This is where the concept of circular economy comes in. It can be a key step in solving many of our challenges. Recycling and reusing things, eliminating waste and improving resources efficiency must become part of our lifestyles.
The centre today launched the Go Electric campaign to boost the adoption of electric mobility vehicles and electric cooking appliances to ensure energy security in the country. Launching the campaign, Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said, Go Electric is a future of India which will promote cost-effective, environment-friendly and indigenous electric products. Expressing concern over the huge imported cost of fossil fuel, he said carbon emission from transport vehicles is a major challenge and the country needs to promote usage of vehicles which operate on alternative mode of fuels like electric batteries, CNG and biofuel. He said India would become the #1 manufacturer of electric vehicles in the next 5 years. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today launched the intensified Mission Indradhanush 3.0 immunization program. The new program will begin from 22nd of February for 15 days and the second phase will start from the 22nd of next month. Dr. Harshvardhan thanked all the chief ministers and officers involved in the drive and said we should resolve for 100% immunization. The minister said the government has given top priority to health sector in the budget and the Finance Commission has also dedicated an entire chapter to health.
The registration process for the forthcoming Prime Minister's interaction program with school students, teachers and parents, Pariksha Pe Charcha, will remain open till the 14th of next month. The 4th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha will be held in March this year virtually. The participants of this program will be selected through an online competition which will be organized on the MyGov platform. The questions related to dealing with examination stress of school students of classes 9 to 12 will be invited through the MyGov platform and selected questions will be featured in the program. About 2,000 school students, teachers and parents from all over the country are to be selected through an online creative writing competition designed specifically for them on the MyGov platform. The applicants can also pose their questions on this platform. The selected participants will be taking part in the program online from their respective state and UT headquarters and will be presented with a special Pariksha Pe Charcha kit. The Indian Army yesterday rescued 447 stranded tourists at Nathula near the Indo-China border, East Sikkim. In a press release, the Army informed that the tourists were rescued from the high reaches near the India-China border at Nathula following sudden heavy snowfall. The stranded tourists were in 155 vehicles stuck over a 15-kilometer stretch which had started skidding after the snowstorm. The tourists were rescued in army vehicles and accommodated inside the barracks of 17-mile military camp.
In tennis, the Belgian and Belarus pair of Elisa Mertens and Aryna Sabalenka has won the women's doubles final of the Australian Open 2021. They defeated Barbora Krejcikova and Katerina Sinekova of the Czech Republic in straight sets of 6-2, 6-3. Earlier defending champions Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury won the Australian Open semi-finals of the men's doubles against Australia-born Jaime Murray and Brazilian Bruno Soares by 7-6, 6-4. In the finals, they will face the Croatian-Slovakian duo Ivan Dodig and Filip Polesk. The semi-finals of men's singles is underway between Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas against Russian player Daniil Medvedev. The women's singles final will be played tomorrow, while men's singles clash will be held on Sunday. Today is the 391st birth anniversary of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Usually in Maharashtra, this day is celebrated with great fanfare, but this year, in view of COVID-19 situation, the state government has issued restrictions on the celebrations. All have been asked to celebrate Shiv Jayanti in a simple manner without coming together on a big scale to avoid the spread of COVID-19. It added that statues or portraits of Shivaji Maharaj can be garlanded in the presence of a maximum of 10 persons by observing social distancing. Meanwhile, Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari offered floral tributes to Shivaji Maharaj statue at historic Shivaji Park in suburban Dadar today morning. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and Deputy CM Ajit Pawar visited Shivneri Fort in Raigad district near Pune and participated in the annual function that has been scaled down due to COVID-19 restrictions. Vice President, Prime Minister and Information and Broadcasting Minister have paid rich tributes to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on this occasion.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the young generation should learn from the life and works of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who is still an inspiration to all of us. Addressing a gathering after inaugurating an exhibition on freedom fighters at the National Library in Kolkata today, the Home Minister said that Netaji had dreamt of making India independent without caring for his own future. He sacrificed his life for the nation. Mr. Shah said if Netaji had thought about his own career, India would never have got Azad Hind Fauj. He asked the young generation to devote their lives to the nation.
मित्रों, हम लोगों के भाग्य में देश के लिए मरना नहीं मगर देश के लिए जीना ये ईश्वर ने हम पर छोड़ा है। मैं युवाओं को खास अपील करता हूं कि जिन्होंने देश के लिए अपनी जान का बलिदान दिया उसका स्मरण कर कर हम बाकी का जीवन देश के लिए जीना ये तय कर दे तो उनके बलिदान को इससे बड़ी श्रद्धांजलि कोई नहीं।
He also flagged off a cycle rally of 3 teams named after the freedom fighters of Bengal, which will cover 900 kilometers of West Bengal. The budget session of Bihar legislature began today with the address of Governor Phagu Chauhan. The session will continue up to the 24th of March. Addressing the joint sitting of Bihar legislature, Governor Phagu Chauhan lauded the state government for establishing rule of law and also for timely action to deal with COVID-19 pandemic, which helped the state achieve a high recovery rate, much better than the national average. Our Patna correspondent reports that the governor lauded the state government for adopting the policy of inclusive growth. The strategy for Bihar's development has been that of decentralized development.
After Governor's address, the economic survey of the state was tabled in the House. Deputy Chief Minister Tara Kishore Prasad, who holds finance portfolio, will present the budget on Monday. The debate on the Governor's address will be held the same day, followed by the government's reply on Tuesday. The session is likely to be stormy as opposition has decided to raise various issues, including deteriorating law and order in the state. Meanwhile, Assembly Speaker Vijay Kumar Sinha has appealed the members to cooperate for smooth functioning of the House. This time, 104 new members of the Assembly are participating in the House. For the first time, members of the House have been advised to follow COVID protocol in view of corona pandemic. With KKL's report from Patna, Tripti Srivastav, AIR News.
Bangladesh Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen has said that the relationship between Bangladesh and India attained a new high with the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking exclusively to Prasar Bharati's special correspondent in Dhaka yesterday, Mr. Momen said that Bangladesh and India have a rock-solid relationship.
We have a rock-solid relationship. We have a blood relationship. India helped us a lot during our war of independence. And ever since, India and Bangladesh is good friends. And we consider the contribution of India and their sacrifice along with us. Always we remember it. I remember when I was in India in 1971, the way common people treated us, we can never forget. And with the new government in India, Modi government, it has went up to a new height.
In Assam, political parties have started initial activities in the run-up to the upcoming assembly polls. The core committee meeting of the ruling BJP was held in Guwahati today. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal, State Party President Ranjit Kumar Das, Union Minister and Party's election in charge Narendra Singh Tomar and Deputy in charge Dr. Jitendra Singh attended the meeting.
And now let's take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi witnessed moderate fog in the morning. The minimum temperature was around 10 degrees while maximum is expected to be around 28 degrees. In Jammu, sky is clear. Minimum temperature in the city was around 11 while maximum will be around 24 degrees. In Srinagar, the temperature will hover between -1 and 17 degrees Celsius. Leh will see a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between -10 and 6 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi says focus of new education policy is on research and innovation. Addresses convocation of Vishwa Bharati University. Several power and urban sector projects to be launched by Prime Minister in Kerala this afternoon. For the first time, China admits death of their soldiers in Galwan Valley clashes. India and China to hold 10th round of Corps Commander level talks tomorrow on the Chinese side of the LAC in Moldo. 3 militants killed in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 97.3%. Over 1 crore doses of vaccine administered in a month. Prime Minister says circular economy can play a major role in enhancing the ease of living, addresses valedictory function of India-Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. Go Electric campaign launched to give a boost to electric mobility and use of electrical appliances across the country. Intensified Mission Indradhanush 3.0 to expand immunization coverage across the country begins on Monday. Students, parents and teachers can register to participate in Pariksha Pe Charcha till 14th March. Indian Army rescues 447 stranded tourists at Nathula in East Sikkim. And in Australian Open tennis, Aryna Sabalenka Elise Mertens wins women's doubles. And with that, we end the midday news.